We previously spoke about 5 things that we don't want to see in Scream 7, but here are 5 things that we do want to see in Scream 7.
Yeah, man.
Hi guys, my name is Barry and welcome back to the channel. I did a video just a little while ago talking about 5 things that we didn't want to see in Scream 7 and 5 things that I didn't want to see in Scream 7, of course. So here are 5 things that we and I do want to see in Scream 7. We'll get the obvious one out the way, Stu's return. Now, despite people not wanting to see Stu back, I have seen a lot of comments where people do want to see Stu return as a living character, not just in a flashback, not just in a dream sequence, but seeing Stu in the flesh come back in the modern world. I want to see that, of course, so I'm being obviously a little bit selective when it comes to choosing these 5, because these are 5 things that I ultimately want to see, and Stu returning as a living character has to be in the top of that list. Next, we want to see Sydney return front and centre. We don't want Sydney to return in that Scream 4 capacity. We don't want to see her return in the Scream 5 capacity for definite. She felt like a side character in Scream 5, and although she was one of the main characters in Scream 4, she wasn't really one of the main characters because she wasn't one of the teenagers anymore. We need Scream 7 to be a more adult movie with less teenagers, less high schoolers, focus more on the adults this time. And if you do that, then Sydney will feel like one of the main characters. This goes without saying, but we want to make it a scary movie. Now, I know that the Scream films are considered comedy as well because of those meta moments, and that is true, but there are lines that you don't want to cross. I think movies like Scream 4 ironically crossed the line of being more of a comedy, but at the same time, Scream 4 did have scary moments, and it certainly had gory moments as well, so we can use Scream 4 as an example. Don't make it as funny as Scream 4, but also make it as scary and gory as Scream 4, and I think maybe that could change the tone. Next up, a change in formula wouldn't go amiss. Now, I did touch on the things that we didn't want to see, where we've got the motives of the killers being they're just copycat killers, they wanted to be famous, or they're related or a long-lost relative. If you give us that, then the film will be predictable. But if you change the formula, change the way that you set up the movie, for example, like having Sydney as the main character, there's no teenagers, there's no high school, then the viewers watching the movie can't go, oh, well, what about all these teenagers? One of these teenagers have to be one of the killers. If you don't give us that, then we'll be questioning ourselves and questioning the characters more because we don't know what's happening. They're changing the formula. If you're changing up those motives, then I think it's going to be surprising, not just to the characters, but to us, the audience. And finally, give us that cliffhanger in a Scream film for the first time. Now, I didn't have that idea myself, but I did read people talking about it on my channel saying, could you imagine there's a cliffhanger at the end of Scream 7? And it got me thinking, going, do you know what? That would be a really good idea. Maybe reveal one of the killers, but keep another killer as a mystery, and that killer gets away in Scream 8. So some of the characters that we suspected as being the killer in Scream 7 who survive, they are now in Scream 8, and we're still thinking, you could still be the killer, but still introduce new characters into Scream 8 that weren't in Scream 7 that could have potentially been the killer in Scream 7. That's one way of giving us that cliffhanger, making us question things, not knowing what's going to happen because it's never happened before. So do you like those things, guys? Are those things that you would want to see in a Scream film? And of course, if I haven't mentioned the thing that you want to see in a Scream film or in Scream 7, leave that idea down below. And is there anything in this that you don't want to see in Scream 7? As always, thanks a lot for watching. Thanks for subscribing, and I'll see you soon.
Meeting adjourned.
I'll be right back.
What are you waiting for, huh?
Coming to get you, Barbara.
Ever played Skin the Cat?
Someone's in the